saying we're pro crypto. We got analysts calling for a $92,000 Bitcoin, and Q4 is setting up for some very bullish price action. And just now, in the last 15 minutes, Bitcoin is on a seesaw roller coaster as the price is just jumping up, jumping down. We're going to see what direction it wants to head in as we go into just a beautiful Tuesday. TJ, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm here with obviously you, DZ. Welcome back to Discover Crypto, powered by Arculus. It's actually a really exciting day. We just watched Bitcoin move over $1,000 like it's nothing. Seeing that volatility come back to Bitcoin, seeing the action building. We got ex-presidents launching their own tokens. We've got nations buying Bitcoin. It's an exciting time.
I cannot believe I almost buried the lead there. That is right. We have a nation state buying Bitcoin, a major move. This is as big as El Salvador. Some would say it's even bigger than the El Salvador news, just given the state of the economy of this country. And so very major news happening with Bitcoin right now. We're going to say, maybe that is part of the reason for the pump. If you heard a crash, TJ ran to a camera. He adjusted it a millimeter, and then he ran back and he ran into a whiteboard that is on wheels.
Oops, got a big chunk out of my shoulder now.
Chunk out of the shoulder. All the erasers fell. There's a mouse that's on the ground. It's in pieces. We're spiraling. We're spiraling just like Bitcoin's price. Let's pull up Bitcoin on the 5-minute chart, because you're going to see some major moves. Look at these candles, man.
Feels good.
Bitcoin just on a tear. And then we're going to look at some major support lines on the 50-week moving average and what happened last time it hit the 50-week moving average. Spoiler alert, it was a major move to the upside. And we're going to see if maybe history can repeat here.
Also, if you guys haven't caught it, Drew on Blockchain Basement's doing a morning trading show. He actually called this move almost perfectly. I think he called it a 60,200 just a few minutes ago. Took along on that stream. So if you guys haven't had a chance to check that out, make sure you check out Blockchain Basement.
I closed my long. I actually posted it to my subs this morning. So I saw the markings of this move right here on the short-term time frame, and I was like, you know what? Let me just get out because I'm about to start a morning stream. I didn't know it was just going to be a short-term correction, and then the market was just going to start melting faces here.
I'm telling you, we've seen pumps around this time, or just volatility around this time for the last week and a half, I would say. I've noticed it right around the time we stream. Either we get a dump and then a fast recovery, but that little pattern you just showed, that right there, has been showing up more and more the last, I'd say, like 2 weeks.
Yeah, you see a big movement at right here at 9 a.m. on our time zone. And just curiosity's sake here, if we were to run out, look again, 9 a.m. right here, and then boom, another massive price action here. And then it'll be Sunday. So we'll watch it tomorrow and see if the streak continues. If you're just joining in, yes, a nation state is buying Bitcoin. It's not China, it's not America, but it is a nation state buying some Bitcoin. So we're gonna have some major moves here.
Yeah, well, and they're pushing $1 billion too. So it may not be one of the big dogs, but they got some cash.
Oh, it's not the size of the dog in the fight, right?
That's right.
It's the size of the fight in the dog, says the T-shirt with the Tasmanian devil on it. But hey, if you look at the back of the T-shirt, you can see his back. All right, Bitcoin is moving in a major way. Just in the past hour, we were up 2%. We were up 4.2% in the 24-hour. We keep scrolling. We see some other major alts having some moves. But really, Bitcoin kind of taking the lead here with the 4.2. You got to go all the way down to XRP with barely squeaking over with the 4.3%. So we're seeing all the alts move about 2 to 4% right here. And then you go to Uniswap. Uniswap moving 5%. Caspa is moving 5% as well. Let's see. We have some AI tokens moving. Pepe, it's got a major move. And Sui has a major move. Of course, we did a post about Sui. We cover what happened with Sui with the Avalanche Sui Trust that Grayscale added with the XRP Trust as well. Look at IMX, though. IMX, I am seeing things. It is up 18%. So major move for IMX, and a major move from TIA. TIA was one of the big laggards yesterday. Now has a 14% pump. And Tau, TJ, I just did a video and it's going out tonight where I cover Tau, and I see this and I'm just like so frustrated that I should have bought some Tau.
You shot it yesterday, right?
Shot it yesterday.
Yeah.
It's getting edited as we speak to go out in a few hours from now. Phantom is having a major move as well. But what about losers? Is there anything that is losing here? We have not much, man. Theta, Fast Network, Leo, and TKX. And then after that, is stablecoins are largely flat there. And even the stablecoins getting a pump. What's going on here? So yeah, we're seeing some major moves from the altcoins here. Immutable X kind of leading the way. let's talk about this 92K Bitcoin, and then we're going to talk about the EMAs, and then we're going to talk about Bhutan. That's right. I just front ran it as Bhutan. And we're going to look at the weekly chart when we're looking at some of these moving averages because, folks, something major is happening on the weekly charts here. If we go ahead and scroll here, it has something to do with this green line right here. I don't know how easy it is to see, but this green line, something major happened last time the green line hit. Now, let's get into this article. We'll go revisit this in a minute. 92K. Analysts eye a 71% surge following a key support test. So, according to a popular trader that goes by Titan of Crypto.
Can you zoom that just a touch?
Yeah.
I
want to zoom in just to see how they describe this. Titan of Crypto, you may have heard of him. He's on the micro-blogging platform X. Yeah, that old micro-blogging platform.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's one way of describing it. The price of Bitcoin recently retested the 50-week moving average, which over the last few cycles led to a bounce of at least 40%. And he added that on average, after you retest the 50 weeks SMA, the price of Bitcoin bumped 71% on average, meaning during the current cycle, a price would rise to around $92,000, a new all-time high. Comes after Michael Vandepop also revealed that he believes the current valuation still super low. And he's saying he's not going to be surprised if we hit $300,000 to $600,000 this cycle. This was in response to a quote from BlackRock, which said Bitcoin could be a hedge against increasing global disorder and declining trust in governments, banks, and fiat currencies, aka we know that they're printing our money into oblivion. I might even play a Mahler quote on that later on in the show, talking about inflation. It was pretty good stuff there. Now, let's look at this 50-week moving average and what happened last time. So you can see that we retested it. We're retesting it here with the wicks. Let's go follow back. We're not going to look at when we crashed above or burst through or crashed below. We're going to look at the retest. It's just a few weeks before this boom right here. And so this was in that very bearish period during the summer months, June, July. Bitcoin just was very boring, very bearish. A lot of people said the market was over. We're going to go to 10K. Let's go ahead and measure this move. So you can see we hit it, and then we wicked below it, decent amount, and then we wicked below it another decent amount. If you look right here, we wicked into it a decent amount, and we wicked into it one more time. Now, if I had to say, technically we did touch it 3 times, so we're not out of the woods just yet, but that only happened 1 week later. So let's measure from the very bottom. Can't quite catch the wick top right there. It's actually 132% pump. Now, he's gone back different cycles, averaged out 71%. Let's do 130% pump from the bottom of the wick there. What are we looking at 130% pump? We're looking at, drum roll please, as I hit the button there accidentally, 130%, $113,000 Bitcoin. Easy. So we're very, very bullish in this moment right now. Now, of course, if we crash below, very bearish. You can see, we retested, wick below it, and then boom, came down below. Tried to bring it up above. It ended up being a pretty strong crash. If we just measure from the wick above, yeah, we end up losing 69% value. I didn't plan that, but 69%. We don't want to see that as well.
This is the 50-day or 200-day?
This is the 50 moving average on the weekly candles. So this is weekly candles here. And so, yeah, this is very, very bullish when we've seen it in the past. Now, they said that we hit it in the previous cycles. So if we go to log chart, we can maybe kind of measure some of these moves, see how we got the 71%. Here, boom, couldn't even really touch it right there. Then, yeah, I guess you could measure it from right now. That's the first retest there. So, yeah, I don't know, maybe 71% is like some of these early cycles. But at a certain point, you lose. You don't have 50 weeks. Because that would be about 2.5 years or 250 weeks, 5 years. So boom, very good pump there. So honestly, it seems like it's higher than 71%. Also another bullish indicator. This is from Charles Edwards. I like to call him Chucky. Chucky saying, if you're still here, congratulations, like Post Malone. You made it through the worst time to be in Bitcoin. Best times lie ahead. And he's saying the worst time is Q3. We're not out of the woods yet. We still have 2 weeks of Q3. And then we go into Q4. TJ, Q4, typically the most bullish quarter for Bitcoin, and especially during halving years like 2020 when we pumped 168% and 2016 when we pumped 60%. And so we're setting up, we're just feeling very bullish.
I mean, just the median right there is 60%, right? Or the average?
Yeah, the median is 56 and the average is 88. Median is, half above, half below. Average is going to be the accumulated total divided by the number. So yeah, 88% right there on average. So really, really good pump. And if we were to say, 71%, let's do 88%. Just for poops and giggles from this period that we're at right here, around 60,000, 88%. Oh, wow. Oh, I'm on log chart. That looks lame and weak. All right, so we go here, 88%. I have it stretched too thin. We're still looking at $109,000 Bitcoin. So you're still looking at a very, very bullish price action. 109. I'll take that all day, every day here.
So it seems like the more we get closer to the end of this year, the more we get into the rate cuts, Q4, a lot of the stuff we've been talking about for years at this point, the closer we get. I mean, it seems like all paths lead to 100K Bitcoin towards the end of this year. Almost every way you slice it at this point. Like timing-wise, it looks good. Chart-wise, it looks good. Economics, it looks good with rate cuts, global liquidity. I mean, there's more and more and more indication that we're going to see a really, really good pump. It's going to be that generational pump that everybody talks about. We're going to see life-changing money this cycle. It's about to get really, really fun. So if you know somebody who is getting ready to leave the space or is frustrated or is getting ready to tap out, don't let them do it right now. The fun is about to begin, and I've seen so many people walk away right before that happens. And so if you've made it this far, like that thing said, you've made it through the hard part, you've done the heavy lifting. Now just let it come to you. Don't overtrade. Don't expose yourself to risk, and just let the gains happen because the fun part's coming.
Yeah, don't overexpose yourself unless you're in your backyard and the fence is high.
Yeah.
I see an Ape Society member in the chat, Jay Dow. He has the NFT PFP, the Ape Society. I got some insane Ape Society stuff for you at the end. We're going to talk a little Cardano. We're going to talk a little Charles Hoskinson. And I might have to work on another Cardano Solana video. I know the people like it.
Big comments coming out of Charles just last couple of days about that stuff.
Big comments. Some say fighting words.
Fighting words. Wow.
Yeah. But is that out of the norm for Charles Hoskinson, the founder of Cardano and one of the founding members of Ethereum?
No, he ain't scared.
He's not scared.
No, he has strong opinions and he's not afraid to share them. And there's usually pretty insightful thoughts behind them. So I love feisty Charles. I think the world needs more of that energy out there. But real quick, we got almost 900 people watching, only 136 likes so far. So I think everybody's so excited about the Bitcoin price. They're just refreshing their chart so much they forgot to hit the like button. So if you could smash that like button for us. If you need to on the mobile, sometimes you have to turn it sideways to get it to work. Sometimes you have to exit out of the live chat, hit like, come right back in. If you guys could do that, we would really appreciate it. And what's there not to like about $100,000 Bitcoin, right?
I certainly like it. And I heard every like pumps Bitcoin's price by $1. Hey. Something about the hive mind. I don't know how it works, folks. We're all insects. All right. Bitcoin fireworks in the wings as an indicator came in hot, says a trader that called the 2021 collapse. This is a pseudonymous analyst. Difference between pseudonymous and anonymous. Pseudonymous, he has some sort of persona. Dave the Wave, telling his 150K followers on X, I heard that's the micro-blogging platform, formerly known as Twitter, that Bitcoin's weekly moving average indicator is coming in hot and fast and approaching a reset. The MACD is a momentum indicator that traders use to watch possible trend reversals. Points to the previous time a reset, late 23, which corresponded to the beginning of a massive price upswing. I saw Bitcoin hit a new all-time high in March. He also shared a Bitcoin chart that estimates it could hit $135,000 by mid to late 2025. Now, that's a conservative estimate. That's kind of in line with my super bearish estimates. My super bearish estimates say Bitcoin can only like 2x from these levels. Yes, my super bear says your money will double in a year. There's Wall Street analysts who just say, throw that guy out in the alley and just beat him with the stick, please, until he turns more realistic. But I think 120K is kind of bearish. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's kind of in line with Josh's analysis. It is extremely conservative to me, in my opinion. I'll say I think that's a slam dunk. That's one of those, like, if you want to make a prediction that you know won't miss, that's an easy one to make. Yeah, we'll be, a little over 100K sometime in 2025. So I think it's a very conservative estimation. I think with the amount of global liquidity that's coming, the amount of printing that's coming, we will see well north of 120. Now, some people think 200 is a little bit too bullish. I've said it on this channel before, 200K, give or take 20 in either direction, whether it's 180 or 220. That's the range I'm looking at. Now, sure, there's a lot that could happen in the world between now and then that could impact this stuff. But realistically, the amount and the rate of inflow and demand I see flowing into Bitcoin right now, I think anything short of 150 is, to your point, a little bit on the bearish side or conservative side. I think,
and I got a realistic scenario. The money printing, they're not going to stop that whatsoever, folks.
That is a bold prediction.
Yeah, that's not going to happen anytime soon. Now, I do have a Jack Mahler post here that I wanted to share. So this is some clean Bitcoin charts here. This right here, this is kind of on the same note. Now, are we good on sound? We got everything here?
Yep, we're good.
All right, here we go.
Every time the U.S. government prints a dollar, they're devaluing me in my life.
Yep.
Because I've spent time and energy here on this planet. In return for that, I've got U.S. dollars, and now those U.S. dollars are worth less, so I'm worth less.
Yes.
And so thinking of money as how to capture your time and energy is a very powerful idea, as opposed to like a piece of paper, or as opposed to something that your government, whatever, tells you to use. Then contrast it to the dollar. If a government can print their own money and debase their money, that means they're debasing, by proxy, your time and energy. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
I like that.
So
I did hate how he said, does that make
ability
sense?
to borrow their own money is, in my opinion, as close to time travel as we've ever seen, because you're borrowing the time and energy from the collective populace from the future. That's crazy. You're taking time and energy from the future.
Yeah, so they're not just stealing the value of the money in your bank account. They're stealing your time. They're stealing your energy. They're stealing their value as a human being. Everybody. Now, if you don't believe in further Bitcoin growth, maybe it's easier to believe in the rise of the high-tech NASDAQ sector, which has a high correlation with Bitcoin's price. And we're seeing, the NASDAQ kind of making some pretty positive moves as we speak. Now, I'm curious, what about this morning? How's the NASDAQ doing? It's another positive move. So 1% for NASDAQ is like 3-4% for Bitcoin. And that's kind of what we're seeing play out right now.
Real quick, while we were looking at Jack Mahler stuff, I just sent you a tweet where a clip from him and the Peter Schiff debate where he kind of explains the Bitcoin versus gold and why Bitcoin's better than gold. Let's play that real quick, just because I know a lot of us out there.
Send it to me on what?
I'd send it to you Twitter DM.
Okay. Well, I can't pull those up, bro.
Oh, you're not.
Come on, man. Come on. Just hold on one second.
Your screen's not on. Just pull the link up.
Well, let's see. You did share a post with me, and here we go. All right, gold. This is only about a minute. Hold on, let me hit pause there. Gold was demonetized because it required trust. Let's hear Jack with the famous gold bug. So this guy on the right, if you don't know, his name is Pete, and Pete loves gold and hates Bitcoin. And this guy loves Bitcoin. So what do they have to say to each other?
David, the real problem with gold is that, unfortunately, it has to centralize. The problem is that gold can't achieve transaction finality without the help of a government or a central party, meaning that when gold was operating in a local economy and you can exchange the physical coins with your direct counterpart for your butcher, your local tailor, your grocer, whoever you were exchanging with, gold was great. When the world needed to scale an economy and the velocity of money larger than your local economy, gold failed us. Gold failed us because gold is just a bare physical metal. It does not carry a monetary network. What's the gold network? The gold network are human beings. And when you're trying to transact in an economy of billions of people globally, you are reliant on central parties, banks, governments. And it was for that reason that gold failed. And it failed in a way that you can't operate a truly free market when the concentrated supply is with those that you have to trust. And so that's fundamentally what Bitcoin solved, is that you are able to create a scarce bearer instrument and a network that can achieve finality in transactional settlement without the reliance on any government or central party.
Very, very good point. That the key difference between Bitcoin and gold is a lot of people hold Bitcoin ready to transact for that used vehicle, that boat, that jet ski that you want to buy, or, we're eating lunch together. I can send you some Bitcoin. a lot different for gold.
Yeah.
You know, you let me pull out some slivers and let's weigh it, the micrograms, and okay, here's, you know, $47 worth of gold. Or even people that would accept it. And what do you have to do? You end up with some gold, and then you have to go to a pawn shop, or you have to go to a bank, or AKA the centralized authorities that he's referring to there.
Yeah, I thought it was good that he, you know, delineates between the exchange of value and the network. Gold and Bitcoin both very good store of values, but Bitcoin far superior network. You know, and when you're relying on humans to be the network for Bitcoin, that's where it breaks down and fails to scale at a global level. It might work in micro economies, might work in local economies, but it just doesn't scale across the globe, which with technology, that's where we are today. I just thought it was a really good way to illustrate that point, you know, so.
Well, Bob from accounting, he has a really good point though. You can't put Bitcoin on your teeth.
Don't tempt people. I bet they could figure out a way to put some of an open dime.
Have like a seed phrase.
If you guys don't know what an open dime is, I bet you could figure out a way to get an open dime on a grill if you wanted to.
Okay. All right. Well, there you go. Someone call up Paul Wall, man. We need to get to the bottom of this. Bitcoin dominance continues to make new highs. We haven't seen highs like this in 5 years. Folks, we're even higher right now. Let's go ahead and look at let's look at the 5-minute chart. We don't need to be insane degens here. Yeah, we're still getting some pumps, but if I did have to issue a warning signal, the fact that these wicks haven't surpassed this wick in 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 35 minutes. It needs to do it. It needs to do it fast. Otherwise, we're probably going to have a short-term dump that's at least going to hit the tops of these.
What is that, like 59?
Yeah, 60,239-ish. I mean, okay, we're on the 1 minute starting to see some dips here. 60,250.
No, I mean, where's it going to pull back to? Was that 59?
Oh, where's it going to pull back to? Yeah, 59,500. Or they do say where it wicks, it sticks. I mean, I definitely 59,750. I do think we're going to get a little bit of a retest below. You know, maybe get some of these people that are moving their stop losses up.
I say keep pumping it, pump it. But
I say keep pumping too.
I'm hoping for a strong week this week.
I'm hoping for a strong week. You know who might be leading the charge? Michael Saylor and MicroStrategy. Some say he found the infinite money glitch.
I think he has.
It's not even troll physics, you know, where like you put a magnet in front of your vehicle and you don't need gasoline. It's not even like that. MicroStrategy is selling $700 million more in convertible senior notes to buy back debt and more Bitcoin.
Yep.
So they're selling $700 million in debt for Bitcoin purchases and the debt buyback there. They now hold about $14 billion worth of Bitcoin, including $1 billion purchase last week. That's whale moves.
Crazy.
Right
They bought $1 billion last week, and they're getting ready to buy more. I think another 200 million or something like that. It's crazy.
Yeah, so right now their total debt does stand at $4 billion. They purchased almost 250,000 Bitcoin worth nearly $10 billion, including $1 billion last week. And they intend to use the net proceeds to redeem all $500 million in outstanding principal amount of their debt due 2023. So they're going to $500 million going to debt, and the remaining amount would be going towards Bitcoin. That's what TJ was referring to. About $200 million out of the $700 million is going to be used to buy Bitcoin. And another good part, the $500 million is paying the debt that was then used to buy more Bitcoin.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's all just leading to more and more Bitcoin
it's
purchases.
Nuts. They're stacking it, and they're stacking it fast. Real quick, we've got a members chat. Jose Sanchez asking when the next Around the Blockchain is. That Around the Blockchain actually will be every Friday afternoon, 3 o'clock, right? 3?
Yeah, 3 p.m. on Fridays. We got Drew Wolfer in the cards, 2 other guests. He's working on it right now. I want to send a public shout out, Dan Gambardello. I would like to try to get him on, and I want to get Gareth Soloway and Crypto Face on.
Oh yeah,
on the same stream.
There you go.
That might be a good one too. Oh, Gareth Soloway. I've always liked Gareth.
But yeah, just so you guys know, every Friday at 3 o'clock from now on will be Around the Blockchain, assuming that the numbers are still there. If you guys like it, make sure to tell us in the comments, hit the like button, share it with a friend, because we got to keep the numbers up to keep doing it, to justify the work it takes to get it done. But if the numbers are still there, we'll keep it on Fridays, and if it does well enough, maybe even expand beyond Friday.
Yeah, there's a lot of moving parts. Writing the show, getting the topics, emailing the guests,
a lot of schedules,
wrangling the guests. Yeah, wrangling a crypto YouTuber is like, wrangling a wild sheep. It's a particular set of skills. All right, Maddie B. That is right, Matthew. It is Maddie B. Don't need Crypto Face, the futter. I mean, he keeps smoking the competition in those trading wars, and some say Market Cipher, is one of the better indicators there.
Yeah,
So
I wouldn't say CryptoFace is not a FUD at all. He's just a trader, and it's
just a trader.
And I really, sometimes it's valuable to get, because he's not like we're all, mega Bitcoin bulls, right? Like we're extremely bullish on Bitcoin. I'm not saying he's not, but he's really looking at charts and dollars more than he's looking at Bitcoin. So
Alden fell for the graphic scam.
What?
The graphic scam. If you didn't know, we had a holder screen, and the holder screen was from the old Showtime. So the holder screen, we popped it open to go live at 3. We popped it open at like 2:40 or whatever. The hold screen said going live at 4 p.m.
Yeah, a lot of people left.
Yeah, so we do apologize for that. Some say it was done on purpose. See, the real ones were. It wasn't. All right, MicroStrategy, speaking of Michael Saylor and MicroStrategy, they now hold 1.17% of all Bitcoin. They don't need the S there. Steadily, they keep growing its Bitcoin stash. It's now larger than most ETFs. And here you can see their accumulation spree. This is insane that they started in 2020, which is really, really nuts. Here's the infinite money glitch. You convert cash to Bitcoin, and then your stock goes up. So when your stock goes up, you take out more debt. And then the announcement of that caused your stock to go up more. Then you sell personal holdings. Stock keeps going up. You issue more stock, keeps going up. Join S&P 500, keeps going up. Bitcoin playbook of the century. Here's a live look of him, live from the Matrix.
Yeah, that's
Agent Smith took the photo.
That's his happy face right there.
That's his happy face. That's when Bitcoin has a God candle.
Yeah,
I don't even know it's nerves of steel that man has.
That's his face that he gives you when somebody asks why aren't you selling Bitcoin? Why aren't you taking profit on Bitcoin? He's just like, really? Have you not listened to anything I've ever said?
This is my face when I'm told at Thanksgiving, yeah, but isn't Bitcoin bad for the environment?
Yeah, that's a good one.
And then I make that face. And I just say, Susan, pay me the fucking gravy. Excuse my language. I did not mean to say that. Whoa, that just kind of came out. I love gravy. That's all it is, folks. That's my one for the day.
You
one
obviously
for the
don't
month.
like Susan.
I really don't even drop them like that. All right. I was going to say frickin'. I don't know what came over me. It was like the devil on my shoulder. All right. Bhutan. All right. Time to talk about the country buying Bitcoin. That is right. We have a nation state. A nation state buying Bitcoin.
Actually,
it's not just El Salvador.
They're not actually buying it, which is even more bullish in my opinion. They're accumulating it, but they're not buying it.
Yeah, true. And they're not acquiring it like most countries do, which is through civil forfeiture.
That's
meaning,
true.
They take
taking it from other people.
They take your wallet and they say, give us your seed phrase, or this 1-year sentence becomes a 20-year sentence.
Yep.
And like we saw with Jimmy Bitcoin in Athens, Georgia, I guess I'd rather do 1 year versus 20 years. So here, take all my Bitcoin, darn it.
Mm-hmm.
A story that has played out many times.
Yeah.
Bhutan's state-owned Druk Holdings. We're going to do a little dive on this in a second. Touts digital asset of one of the focus investment groups here. Look how idyllic this town looks. Looks very nice.
Beautiful. No, actually, when I read this story last night to Allie, and I'd never heard of Bhutan before. She was actually familiar with it, and she was saying it's actually a country where a lot of their local laws and stuff are designed for preservation and rights. They actually have pretty strong rights for the land and all that sort of stuff. So it's a very beautiful.
So does that mean like a beaver prevents you from like building a warehouse on your property?
Something along those lines. Yeah.
That can be good and that can be bad.
There are pros and cons, but it reminded me, it was interesting when I heard that they're mining, because they're probably doing very clean energy. This is probably good for their environment. And it's fascinating that a company who's a nation that's very environmentally conscious is mining all of this Bitcoin, because obviously if it was bad for the environment, they wouldn't be doing it, right? So that's a pretty glowing endorsement for Bitcoin. And it also kind of reminded me of a nation like Switzerland, where they've got very tight laws when it comes to personal privacy and financial freedom and privacy. So somebody behind this has set themselves up pretty well.
Look what happened. We're pumping. We are pumping again, everybody. Yeah, we're getting another little pump here. Man, I can't believe I closed my Bitcoin long. So frustrated.
We're going right to 61K.
Yeah, we are moving, baby. We are having some major moves. We go the 5. Oh, I thought the 5 minute was going to make it seem, more natural and normal.
Nope.
No, just making it seem more godlike and bullish here.
Send it. Where's the pump it up song? It's time to pump it up.
Yeah, and honestly, this, I mean, you could say this kind of played out because we did have a downward direction there, but this is what they call a Doge candle that indicates a reversal here. And so we tried to go down, and the reversal candle said Uno reverse. I mean, it played the hell out of that card. That kid was left crying because they had to draw 16. So yeah, really, really good move here. Is it Bhutan? Is it the Disco Fam hitting the likes? Where are we at on likes?
We're at 300 likes over, almost 1,100 people in here right now. Easy 500-600 likes. If you guys like a pumping Bitcoin, smash that like.
Woo!
We've got
Hit
crypto.
it till your keyboard is raw.
Crypto O'Breezy said took a BTC long on 79X. They're probably feeling pretty good right now. So
I am just frustrated. I closed my long. Oh man. Oh well. You know what? You never go broke taking profits.
Ethan
folks.
Smith, my 20X long is killing it. Yeah, we got a lot of 63K next stop. Strap in, boys.
I was in a 40X. I was in a deep. It was a small amount. It was just like, have a little fun here playing the 5 minute candles. Played me, I guess. But hey, I'm still in profit. All right, back to Bhutan. Bhutan, a Himalayan nation with fewer than 1 million people. They've accumulated $780 million in Bitcoin. This is a third of its GDP. This is huge. And it's through mining operations run by state-owned Druk Holdings. Again, we're going to look into them. It's also linked to BitDeer, which is a mining group here. The investment in digital assets is part of their broader strategy by this mystery entity here to diversify their revenue streams, with recent wallet activity showing both deposits and withdrawals, including significant transactions with Kraken here. This is a picturesque landlocked nation between India and China. It's along the Himalayan mountains near Nepal, and they've amassed Bitcoin holdings worth almost $1 billion in the past few years, nearly a third of its GDP, and the fourth largest state-owned stash, according to Arkham. Now, they consider its fewer than 900,000 citizens' happiness a better measure of the country's well-being than money. It's the second nation after El Salvador to officially hold Bitcoin, and this part of this entity's fund here. They've constructed Bitcoin mining facilities in multiple locations, with the largest being on the site of the now defunct Education City project. Unlike most governments, their Bitcoin doesn't come from asset seizures, but from mining operations, what they've ramped up dramatically since early 23. If they ramped up in early 23, they're doing pretty good on a lot of this mined Bitcoin. The Singapore-based company said it will work with the Bhutan government to establish crypto mining operations. This is what BitDeer said, to establish mining operations in Southeast Asia, and raised $500 million for that venture. Then they did say they built a 100-megawatt facility in the first part of the company's project here. Bhutan, which is smaller than Switzerland, has little economic diversification and nascent private sector development. To TJ's point, it relies on hydropower.
Hey, I didn't even read this.
There you go. Also, for the revenue, tourism, and agriculture, GDP was just under $3 billion and 22, about half that of the Maldives here. So, you saw this thing, Druk Holdings here. You keep seeing it. What the heck is Druk Holdings? So I did a little deep dive this morning, folks. TJ, I'm not even kidding. This website was crashing. I couldn't do it till about probably 30 minutes ago.
I
was looking at it earlier.
Yeah.
Just refreshing the whole time. This is the team of DHI, Druk Holdings Investment. So this is the mystery entities. I'm not trying to sound like I'm talking about the dogs and cats in Springfield, but one of these people looks unlike the other people. That's a fair statement, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got this guy right here. Now, these people, they look like they're local. They're local. They're dressed like Sherpas. They're dressed like the native citizens here. And then you just got this one guy. He just kind of stands out like a sore thumb, if I'm going to be honest here. Who the heck is Jacques Beneke, which is also a famous name, a name of another famous financial guy. I don't know if they're related. I could look into that later. But Jacques, CTO of this. Folks, I did a little bit of a background dive into this. So this is the entity that is behind Bhutan's Bitcoin investment. This is the guy that's behind their chief technology. And then when I looked in a little deeper into this guy, This guy is coming from Amazon Web Services and British Telecoms. And so we got some say, well-connected insider working with Bhutan, helping enable this. So Druk Holdings, Druk investment here. This is a large part of what we're seeing here.
Yeah.
And so this is the key figures behind the scenes in Bhutan making this Bitcoin purchase possible. We keep talking about the falling domino. Are we going to see more countries announce this, or are they going to pull the Bhutan and secretly accumulate for years? Because again, they said early 23 they started doing this.
Yeah, they've been mining here for a while. I looked it up. Who's the owner? If you just type it into Google, who owns Druk Holdings and Investments? It's basically the Ministry of Finance. It's kind of like an entity within Bhutan. It's a private entity who's, like they said, it's based in Singapore apparently. And Bhutan is, I think, just to the east of Nepal, just to the west of Malaysia, if that's right. It's kind of between Nepal, or maybe it's Bangladesh. I don't have my geography that well, but it's in roughly that area. But their number one companies under them, the State Mining Corporation, that's what we're just talking about there, State Mining Corporation Ltd. That's probably what's mining all the Bitcoin. Number two, Bhutan Power Corporation, Natural Resource Development, Construction Development. So this whole charter and mission is to kind of protect. It says the Ministry of Finance is the sole shareholder of DHI. Mission: safeguard and enhance national wealth for all generations of Bhutanese through prudent investment. So it's fascinating to me watching nations. We got El Salvador coming out the other day saying they're going to pay down all the nation's debt and become a debt-free nation that's not reliant on international banks. Here's another basically nation that has the potential to become completely debt-free and actually be running a surplus like we're seeing in some of the Middle Eastern nations like UAE and some of that stuff. I think we're flipping a dynamic of global economics going from pure Keynesian more towards Austrian, and it will be fascinating to see how the ones that have been running Keynesian economics for the last 100 years try to push back against it. But right now, I think there's a pretty clear move towards quality, prudent, safe investments, free market, letting things correct if they need to correct, and buying and investing in good assets. Bitcoin is changing the game for the global financial system around the world, period.
100%. And realist, I didn't mean to say it's like fishy. Just interesting, that there's that little bit of an outlier.
Yeah.
Saying the chart behind me is looking pretty good. I would say the chart in front of my eyeballs is looking pretty good here. We're looking at the 1 minute. We go to the 5 minute. Jeez, man. Bitcoin just on a tear here.
Come on, send us right back to 64. Let's go, boys.
Yeah, let's just go, man. Come on. Let's get something exciting here. If we look at the parallel channel here, I'm just kind of curious. Are we seeing any action here? This one, leave. So.
Double click. Save you some time.
All right, boom.
Yeah, it fits, and you can do it on the bottom one too. Fit it to your screen.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing some pretty strong. Wow, look at that. Look at that. We're hitting the point. This is let's move this stupid yellow line. This blue dotted line. You can see that's where we first hit resistance, and we're above it. We are trying to pump above the midway point. We get to the midway point. That's when we start looking at some of these other targets, like at the top of it, 68,000 essentially here. So 68,000 going to be maybe one of the next stops here. Last time we blasted above. Let's just kind of look. We knocked on it. We got rejected like halfway between the 2 points there. The time before that, didn't even knock on it and just went to the top. I guess you could say we knocked on that midway point right there. And then we have one other thing. We knocked on it. And then, so we kind of blasted to the top there. So we're looking at, we did hit the top. We did hit the top. We didn't hit the top. If you had to throw out a projection here, are we going to touch the top of this range?
What's that number?
$68,000.
That's a tough one. What's that other... can you see my? You probably can't. The other peak right before that, kind of where we got rejected halfway through that. Yeah, what is that?
That was at 65,000.
Yeah, I could see us going back up towards that, and
pretty
then
much
trading between 60 and 64 for a couple days. Let the rates kick in.
Wow, this is freakish. This is freakish because what are the odds, right? 65,000, and we just put it like as close to it as possible, about right there. Look at that. Clean, very, very clean rejection there at 65K.
Now, I mean, if there's enough momentum, I mean, obviously anything's possible with these Fed meetings coming out. If they do I'm still in the 25 basis points camp, even with the odds. I think the odds shifted to even be
Yeah,
majority.
we're going to talk about that in a sec.
Yeah, majority towards 500 basis points, but we'll see. We'll see. I mean, if they come out and do something crazy, we could blast through it. I don't think they will. I'm still like, I would like to see us get back above, trading above 60 in the 62 to 64, 65 range for the rest of this week, and then maybe make a decisive move back above 70. If you go too much too fast, you got to know we're coming back down.
I'm actually seeing something kind of bad in the short term. All right, so you can see that we wicked above. And then you just see the next 4-hour candle. That's what we're looking at. So we wicked above. The next 4-hour candle brought it all the way back down to there. So we did see a decline of 62,700 all the way down 59,700. So we saw a $3,000 meltdown after we went above it last time. So that's a $3,000 meltdown. And look right here, I see essentially the same thing. We wicked above it, but then the next 4-hour candle went all the way down to 60,900. So we went from 62,800 to 50, about 60,800. So yeah, we saw a $2,000 meltdown. And so yeah, we have seen meltdowns. This one, I mean, heck, we're seeing the same thing, a slight wick above, and then we, kind of closed or started a lot lower. So last 3-4 times, it wicked above. I mean, heck, right here, even more so. Last few times it wicked above, it fell thousands of dollars within the next 4 hours. So that is a warning sign, not to say I'm long-term bearish or even midterm bearish, but for the next 4 hours, history suggests we're going to, pull back about 2-3K. All right, so folks, just pay attention to that. All right, just in, Singapore's largest bank to launch Bitcoin and crypto options trading. So probably pretty nice announcement for Token 2049. Probably sandbagged it till here. Now let's talk a little Trump, man. Let's talk about Trump and this stupid DeFi project. I'm calling it stupid. World Liberty Financial. And they're aiming at the SEC reversal on crypto. Is aiming to challenge financial intermediaries and traditional banking barriers. Intermediaries, that's how you say it. So for on this 2-hour space last night, the team confirmed that the initiative aims to transform the financial system by leveraging blockchain technology. Oh, wow, that means so much. They're focusing on real estate assets to make high-value property investments accessible to a broader audience, bypassing conventional banking barriers. I mean, there's probably a market for this. Accredited investors can put in $100K on a $100 million skyscraper project. Is there really demand for that? That I don't know. At least for accredited investors, maybe not so much. Key figures include Donald Trump Jr., Eric Trump, a rogues gallery of others here. Some of these people founded an alternative to OnlyFans in the past called Subify, Doe Finance, a couple other projects right there. Another one, Hotter Girls LLC, Date Hotter Girls LLC, offering tips on dating for men. So yeah, interesting partners there with some interesting projects in the past. Now, this may not be owned by the Trump family. Outsiders are the main company executives, according to allegedly leaked white paper. His involvement confirms his shift on crypto. I do believe in it, he said. The former president also emphasized the U.S.'s need to lead in emerging technologies to remain competitive globally. Now, concerns are regarding this project's structure and compliance. 70% of the governance tokens may be allocated to insiders like Trump and his sons. Figure substantially higher than typical allocations in similar ventures.
Well, no, that's not what I'm seeing when I look at it. Like when I've seen the token breakdowns, like it's not 70% to insiders as far as I can see. So we kind of broke this down. I think maybe Drew's on the episode. This insiders claim with the 70% is very. Remember? No, it was you. It was like stake. It was for like exchanges. Yeah. Market. Yeah. So 70% saying all of its insiders, very misleading. And it's extremely misleading. I mean, it's really, when I saw the breakdown, it really, like they've got 17% or something for like users rewards and stuff like that. They're calling that insider.
Yeah, here you can see it's 20% is allocated to the founding team.
Yeah.
It's a lot lower than 70%.
Yes.
I would say maybe there was a slight slant by Liam right here. Yeah. Liam doesn't seem to lean right. if I may say so.
That was pretty good.
Liam right, more like Liam left.
Yeah, I read an interesting one that was, I don't know if it was on CoinDesk or Cointelegraph or something, that kind of broke down. Obviously, for those of you who don't know, they did a Spaces last night with Trump came on. I think he talked for 30 or 40 minutes at the beginning. I believe Junior was on there, maybe even Barron, a lot of them talking about it. I have mixed feelings about this. You and I, DZ, were talking about this a little this morning before the show. You know, we both said on here, we think this is a dangerous, slippery slope with way more risk than reward, probably for the family. But the more I started thinking about it, the more I think this could be a pretty interesting political move. What are you going to say? Go ahead.
Well, no. Well, in what way? That's an interesting statement.
Well, because I mean, the way they're doing it, they're being very regulatory. You know, they're careful, saying it's only going to be for
governance, not profit.
Governance, not profit. We only want people that want to participate in
accredited
governance.
only.
Accredited only. We're not, we're being very hesitant with what we do in the U.S.
They're trying to follow Gensler's rules that are invisible.
And they're trying, and I think what they're going to do is use this as a way to demonstrate the amount of opportunity that's leaving the U.S., the fact that people need this. Hey, we're trying to learn about this. We're trying to participate in this. It is a little bit, it's removed enough from Trump to where he can say, yeah, my kids are working on this. Now, I do think it will open him up to a lot of scrutiny. That's obviously not something he shies away from. And it could, over the long term, actually play out pretty well if they're able to navigate this. Now, I know what I would be doing if I'm an investor is looking for satellite opportunities, right? So who are they working with heavily on this project? Who have you heard mentioned almost every time this project gets mentioned? Another big crypto project in DeFi.
It's not Aave, is it?
It is Aave.
It is Aave.
They're working very heavily with the people behind Aave. One of the Trumps even mentioned trying to, I think they referred to it as looping Ethereum on Aave, so Aave very close to this project. So that Aave is one I'd be looking. Actually, I was looking last night if I was going to do here. I'll give you my three, my A tier picks, right? Aave, Avalanche, and Arrow. If you want three good, solid picks, they may not be the fastest movers, but they're going to be.
And they
consistent.
all start with the letter A.
That's why they're A tier. Yeah,
that's why they're A tier. That makes a lot of sense. All right, here we have a comment. High 90s Tulip Protocol on Sol. Your mama gave me her Tulip Protocol. Oh, that was too dark and mean.
The other thing, I think they're going to use this as a, look, we could have had so much more success, but because the regulation environment here in the U.S. is so rough, we're not able to. Look at all these things that people want to do. We're trying to move this forward, and it's an easy way for the Trump family, so to speak, to contribute towards this. It'll be fascinating to see how it plays out. I think there's still a lot of risk. If I was an advisor, I would have said, I'll wait 2 months. Give it a couple more months and then launch this initiative. Don't give them that attack vector running up to the election. However, think about this: if the other side was going to try to start coming down hard on crypto because of this, do you think they'd gain votes by doing that?
No.
So it's kind of somewhat genius. It's extremely risky, but the more I'm watching it play out, the more I'm coming around to the strategy. I still probably wouldn't do it if I were them. And the other thing I came up with, this is probably why MAGA dumped.
Yeah,
we were talking about that yesterday. If it's clear that the focus of the Trump family has shifted over here, so most people that are interested in what Trump and his family are going to be doing long term are probably interested in participating in this ecosystem. So I would say this is one to watch, one to stay involved with, obviously not a lot of accredited investors probably watching this right now. However, even if you're not, there probably will be opportunities. So I just say keep an eye on this. It's going to be really interesting to see how this unfolds.
Yeah, Will. Michelle Weekly, she's some sort of manager, director of product development at Byte Federal here. A couple things I found interesting. Trump's granddaughter speaks Mandarin. Of course, we know Barron's really into crypto. And they seem to be having fun playing with it, but it's like we had someone in the chat where we were saying earlier, only open to accredited investors. Trump hotels and properties may soon accept crypto payments as well. And then they kind of talk about, just random things you'd hear in Spaces: red tape, regulation, corruption, banking monopoly, tire systems a scam, Michael Saylor, then some other things here. Here they have a little bit of a graphic here, just kind of some of the key players. If you want to learn more about who's involved, everything else, there's got some posts on it from there. All right, now Trump says U.S. crypto startups will be living in hell if he's not elected. It's going to be an orange hell. So during this space, he believes that crypto builders under investigation by the SEC will be living in hell if he's not elected. If we don't win, those people that were under investigation that are free as a bird right now, and people that weren't being looked at, they will be living in hell because they'll start the day after the election if Kamala wins. He discussed what he described as incredibly hostile approach to crypto regulation by Gary Gensler. I think left and right can agree with that statement there. Because, Gensler, SEC, they have targeted Coinbase, Binance, Kraken, sent a letter to OpenSea, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. Here, Trump saying, frankly, since they heard I was involved, they treated people much better. Maybe they view it as votes. Kamala Harris has yet to provide any specifics of her approach to crypto regulation, although some heavyweights like Mark Cuban have said that her team reached out to learn more. Here we have Eleanor Terrett. Scoop. The full 5-member SEC commission is preparing to testify in front of the Financial Committee next Tuesday. This will be the first time the whole commission, not just the chair, has testified together since 2019. Gensler himself will crawl out of the lagoon, and he himself will testify alone in front of the Senate the day after on Wednesday. So we're going to have all types of just really, really good clips a week from now. Any predictions here? I mean, I think he's just going to be Weasley. He's going to answer like a lawyer or like a MIT professor, and we're not going to get much clarity. But maybe the markets will have a reaction. They'll dissect some sentence, and we'll probably get like a big wick to the upside, big wick to the downside. If you had to guess what direction, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree with your assessment there. I don't think we'll get anything too substantial out of it. I don't even think markets will have too big of an impact. I think it's just kind of a public shaming in politics. Like, oh, you got to come up here and, take your licks and, kind of play the little political game. Like you said, he'll have very political answers. We won't really get much out of this. This is just Congress or Senate or whatever, their way to come out and say like, hey, we're mad at you. And him to be like, okay, well, you can't do anything about it. So.
But then sometimes you'll have like an Elizabeth Warren, they'll give the banking executive the questions.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, well, what did you do to safeguard American citizens?
I think this is just to say, if they want to replace him in the future, they have to, demonstrate their distaste for his conduct so far.
I thought you said if they want to replace him in the future, they have to I was like, don't say it, TJ.
No.
Don't say it.
They have to show that they're not happy with what he's done so that they can point back to that and be like, all right, well, based on this, we're removing you. So
Green Thanos got rear-ended. He has to withdraw his entire portfolio to buy a new car. Please pray for him. Thanos, I hate to see you leave the market at this time, but we do have lives and we're not immortal beings. We can't just buy Bitcoin and then go sleep in a coffin for 100 years and wake up millionaires. And so, best of luck. I hope you get their insurance information. All right. Oh no, he was in Columbus. Anyways. All right. I was kidding. He was in Sandusky. Gold prices. So we're expecting higher gold prices as the US dollar weakens. Of course, that's a thing. The weaker dollar means higher price for gold, higher price for just crypto as well. And, I just want to highlight, there's some people out there saying 3K gold per ounce is going to be coming before you know it. Do want to give a big shout out to Constellation Network, aka DAG, redefining Web3 interoperability. And so go check them out. We're a follower. We all like the project. So if you want to learn more about, they're getting all types of integrations with wallets, just doing a lot of cool stuff. Plus, they're going to be at a global summit here, high def.
They got a lot going on, a lot of new things, developer tools coming out, new wallets, like you said, but also this is another one with really strong ties to, some of the big players around the world, governments and that sort of stuff. And so watching who can win those battles over these next, this next market cycle going into 2025 and really through the bear market of 26 and 7. Sorry to be talking about bear markets again before we even get to the bull market, but I think we'll see some big players make some waves this cycle and then solidify their positions 26, 27, and DAG, Constellation Network, one to keep an eye on for sure.
Oh man, Green Thanos. Insurance wrote it off and gave me less than the car's value. With this market car price, I have to add more. Hate to hear it, man. Hate to hear it.
Sorry to hear that. Thing.
I do know Tesla has pretty low APR. If you can like kind of kick the can down the road,
that's true.
You get some cheap money.
I think like 1% or something crazy.
Yeah,
like
it was 0%. Now it's like 0.99%. Yeah, like 1% interest on. I think it's the Model Y. So be something I would maybe look into if you qualify. Warren, she just wrote a letter to Powell demanding 75 basis point cut to U.S. interest rates. It's becoming obvious that cheap capital is going to flood the market regardless of why and how it happens. I'll just say there's a reason they call her the banking broad. Banks would love to have cheap money. They would love to basically force their investors into riskier assets. Also, they're underwater on a lot of treasuries. And so they would like to see the crap that they're holding, the real basis rate, be closer to the crap that they're holding, because they're holding this crap and there's high interest rates. People are like, I don't want your 10-year crap with 2% interest. Get out of here. I'm getting 5% all day, every day. So they would love to see the crap that they're holding become not crap. They're holding a bunch of crap. It's unrealized losses. I'm just trying to simplify it. They bought a lot of treasuries at low interest rates. You know, it's going to mature like 8 years from now, and they're a sucker. They were told by the government, buy all these 10-year bonds. They did, and now they're just in losses.
They're
They're
bag holders for the U.S. government, basically.
They're bag holders for Gensler.
Yeah, and so Stanley Druckenmiller, I always say Druckenmiller, yesterday on CNBC came out and had a quote about this, and it's pretty much in line with what I've been saying, which is probably why I like the quote. But he said, I don't care if they go 25 or 50. I really don't, but I can't help but point out that right after inflation was 9% with rates at 0, they went 25 basis points. Where were all the Wall Street cheerleaders calling for 50 because real rates are quote unquote too high? The asymmetry in their narrative is striking. So kind of to his point, and this is kind of what I'm thinking, they're going to be consistent with what they've done in the past. Maybe they come out and do 50 basis points today and then 25 for the rest, but it doesn't really matter what senators like Elizabeth Warren are saying. There's a reason it's somewhat separated from politics. It's still very political, but if they did what the politicians asked them to do, I mean, we would have had hyperinflation a long time ago.
Well, so. Joyce Chang is laughing at you. She says you are so wrong, TJ. She's just laughing at how wrong you are.
That's fine.
She's the JP Morgan executive here. She's the head of global research chair.
Well, by December, it says.
By December. But she starts with the first one. Interview with Bloomberg, Joyce Chang. She's JP Morgan's global research chair. She reiterated her expectation. 50 basis point Wednesday. So 50 basis point is what the head of JP Morgan or one of their executives is saying. She's expressing confidence in this 50 basis point cut, stating current market conditions provide them with the scope to make larger rate reductions. She pointed to easing inflationary pressures and labor market conditions as key reasons why such a move is warranted. When asked if the Fed Reserve is behind the curve, she said, it's still up for debate. I can't get too mad. We might try to work together in 5 years here. Justin, blockchain technology could transform UK's $14.5 trillion payments industry. We're seeing some little bit of groundwork, but I keep seeing CBDC groundwork, not like Bitcoin adoption groundwork. UK tested the Regulated Liability Network, a system that might reduce fraud and improve efficiency for banks and customers. I just hear control. They want to have more control. I don't think this is a pro-Bitcoin move. I think this is pro-CBDC move. So we got to watch this carefully. In case you missed it, Tether grew its market share from 55% to 75% over the past 2 years, and 90% of that is on Tron. Tether's, I'm just making up a number there though. USDT supply, 118 billion. Their market share now 75%. They made an estimated 400 million in revenue in 30 days. Good Lord, that's a lot of money right there, folks. Binance. They're accused of some dark stuff here. Insider trading because they listed the wrong meme coin, the wrong Nero token here.
Oh, this was shady, yeah.
Yeah, super shady. It pumped not 10%, 10x on listing, causing the market leader to plummet 40% here. So they're under scrutiny after listing this microcap meme coin, a valuation of just 15 million. They regularly list meme coins, but the token in question is a variation of another coin on Ethereum, which boasted a market cap of 120 million prior to the day's event. So there's a coin called Nero, market cap of 120 million, but they listed a different Nero with a market cap of 15 million. And then that market cap soared 1,000% to 178 million, while the other token fell almost 40%, falling to 80 million from 125 million, leaving the holders furious. And then that was the Binance listing God candle right there. Yeah, if there was some inside info, yeah, someone got on Uniswap, bought the hell out of this token, and then just saw that pump on Binance and just laughed all the way to the bank.
Yeah, there's some really interesting stuff. I want to say it was Crypto, I believe, was the one who was breaking this down. Extremely shady. Front run, who had the tokens, massive God candle, starts to pull back right as the shorts start piling in. Boom, all the shorts get wiped out, pumps up again. I mean, it was very well manipulated with what it appears to be somebody working at the exchange. So it's very shady.
I will say they probably are going to fire somebody. Like, I don't think they'll just like let this slide. And like, I don't think executives are like high-fiving behind a closed door. Like, yeah, we made, a bunch of ETH. There's probably one bad actor who's probably on the way to Bhutan.
Yeah.
All right.
Real
Ripple.
quick though, I thought it was pretty funny. Somebody in the chat said, the wrong meme coin. That's the one you hold. That'd be a pretty funny meme coin for somebody to launch. Like the wrong coin. And because that's such a thing in meme, because I got the wrong one, make sure you have the right contract address or whatever. Like wrong meme would probably do pretty well. So
we got people out there walking dogs, dodging medical waste. Be careful out there if you're walking. And I heard people in Singapore, they're getting in trouble for scuffing the sidewalk.
Yeah.
But don't know if that's true or not. But I've seen reports. And yeah, just be careful out there on your walks, folks. Especially if you're walking near ducks.
I saw an article, 2 crypto influencers arrested for smuggling in e-cigarettes. So careful out there, boys.
Yeah. You don't want to pull a Brittany Griner. I didn't know it was Delta or whatever they call that stuff. Ripple chairman moved 50 million XRP. He hasn't done this for 11 years.
Wow.
I want to show this because this is from XRP Army. What does this tell us? But it says Sol, so maybe it's not really pro XRP. What does this tell us? At least on my algo, the number one response, 50 million. First time in 11 years. He needs money? Question mark. I thought that was kind of funny. I don't know if that's true, but that was funny. The market might be down, but the number of Ethereum validators is at all-time highs. The network is becoming more decentralized every single day. So we're seeing some just ETH moving in the right direction as far as decentralization goes. Bernstein adds Aave to the model portfolio, reflecting more bullish outlook for DeFi. Notes that DeFi users are up 4x since January 2023. Given ETH lagging, it may be the time to turn back attention to DeFi and Ethereum.
I agree.
I agree too. I said it like 2 months ago. Maybe I was just a little too early. Maybe just a little.
No, I mean,
depends on the project, though.
Yeah, I agree. I said I was right there with you. I think I was. We were thinking the Ethereum ETF. It has been somewhat of a disappointment on inflows. However, if you look at what is built on Ethereum, anything else that has, for the most part, you look at DeFi, all exists on Ethereum, whether it's Aave or Curve or many of these other projects that are prevalent in the DeFi space. It's all on Ethereum. I think these L2s will make them better. What's happening now. I mean, the base integration with Bitcoin DeFi is pretty interesting. That's why I'm talking about Arrow. But that's why I'm looking at Arrow and Aave as 2 potentially very strong plays over this next cycle. So
that 50 million XRP may be sold to increase liquidity. Maybe. I mean, they don't have enough that they're sitting on. Maybe. All right. WorldCoin expanding to Solana. Goes live on Solana Network with integration through Wormhole. Wormhole is a strong project. We've done videos on them in the past. Probably one of the more popular bridges out there. So if you're trying to get in and out of Solana, a lot of people like it. So World ID, WorldCoin, backed by A16Z, Blockchain Cap, Coinbase, amongst others. Sam Altman, this is his project. He is the founder of OpenAI. So very, very smart guy. WorldCoin, famous for having orbs around the globe. You go up to the orb and they scan your eye. And then you get a WorldCoin for that, for joining their network and giving your telemetry data from your iris scan there. I always say just go full gape and give them your brown eye, folks. That's what I do. Just make sure no one's watching. All right, Chainlink. I said we have some Link Marine news. So if you are a Link Marine, smash. I need you to smash that like. Are we at 420 yet?
We passed it. We did hang out at 420 for a little while, but yeah, we're pushing 500 now. So I guess 690 is the next. After you pass 420, 690 is the only one left to hit. So
all right, Techno Goody. These orbs are used to capture your soul. What do you think of that?
Yeah, little dicey.
Some people read those old books. They don't like what they're standing for there. Okay. I was kidding, of course. Chainlink Fireblocks join forces to help banks and institutions issue stable coins. This is pretty big. So Chainlink is setting the groundwork for your bank to be able to directly issue a stable coin. This is good news for crypto and good news for your Link bag. This is bad news for CBDC critics. This is a step closer to CBDCs. I don't think Wachovia or Wells Fargo or Truist, I don't think they're issuing Tether. Do you think they would issue Tether, or do you think they would issue a government-backed stablecoin instead?
No, yeah, I think they'll issue USDC.
Yeah, I think it could be USDC. Small chance it could be the PayPal, PYUSD.
True. It's funny you mentioned that. I was noticing, if you were watching any NFL, I was noticing PayPal ads this weekend. I don't know if I've ever seen a PayPal ad in my life. Pretty interesting now that they are advertising. I'm like, maybe somebody's threatening their core business. They've got tons of cash. Like, hey, maybe we should get in line with this stuff here. And I did notice with some of the Celsius stuff that was happening, some of those payouts were happening over PayPal. So yeah, I think PayPal is an interesting one to keep an eye on too. Good point.
Yeah. We have Chainlink eyeing a 21% rally as selling fears to falls to a 16th month low. I just want to pull up the Chainlink chart here. Pull up Link spot crypto. Link having a heck of a pump as well. Looks like just in this short amount of time, Link ended up having, over the course of an hour, 20 minutes, about a 4% pump right there. If we look at the weekly, Chainlink, is in a position to maybe set a reversal. I'm smelling a reversal in the cards here. And if you look at the day, you could see potential bullish action here. Now, this right here was a bull div that had printed, and we're still waiting for this to play out. Last time, we got a pretty decent pump there, but then ended up starting a bear market. So I'm feeling bullish. I'm feeling bullish on Chainlink here. I think Chainlink can hit $100 over the next 15 months, folks. I know I'm pretty bullish on it there.
No, I like that. I mean, I saw, and I haven't confirmed this or read too much into it, but a headline I saw today was apparently Chainlink is getting Uniswap is integrating with the CCIP, Chainlink's network, basically. So if that happens, that's actually pretty bullish, both for DeFi, for Chainlink. If they can get plugged into the CCIP network, that could be pretty huge for a lot of different things. So Chainlink still one to watch as far as a long-term player in the space. Absolutely.
We got some pretty cool stuff from Santiment. I love Santiment's data. They got a lot of good data on GitHub commits and wallet data and just tracking whales. Whale activity, according to Santiment here, hints at a price surge for Injective, Matic, and Render. And normally I try to ignore these articles because you'll see strong project, microcap. But this is from Santiment data, and they're covering whale activity here. And so showing promising signs, according to Santiment, they saw that whale wallets are moving their holdings of these altcoins from exchanges to cold storage, pointing a bullish outlook. So Injective Whales initiated a substantial token transfer here to cold storage at the end of August 21st, and have continued to do so gradually. Similarly, Render Whales started on July 21st, and on September 9th, the Matic Whales followed suit, coinciding with the transition to the Pole token there. And so 3 tokens to keep an eye out. TJ, if you had to choose one to be the bigger winner until the end of the year, I'm leaning Render because it's a more volatile space. It's the AI. But I think Polygon might be the safer of the bets. What do you like out of the 3 here?
Yeah, that's interesting. I was leaning, towards the end of the year, I agree. Render over the entire cycle. I'm almost leaning Injective. I'm like leaning towards DeFi. Now it may not do the fun move, but I don't know. I'm leaning towards building a portfolio of just DEX type things like Arrow, Injective, maybe Uni if they move to a fee rewards for their holders or something like that, because I can see those all doing well long term.
All right. I also like it's an outlier. It's not crypto. Coinbase stock.
Yeah.
I think that's not, not a terrible buy.
Anybody who's been fading MicroStrategy for the last few years would be, coming back around probably around these days because they're crushing it.
Folks, we got, just the big the partnership announcement here between USDC and SWI.
That's a big deal.
Yes or no? Would you be interested in a SWI dedicated video, just kind of covering SWI? Can it, a lot of comparisons to Solana, maybe dissecting some of those comparisons there. So let me know why or in, yes or no. Let me know down in the chat. If we get some yeses, I'll make the video. If we get some no's, I won't. You are in control, Disco fam. You are in control. I'm just John Travolta. I'm just dancing to your tunes, baby. Maybe not the best example, because of the whole massage table thing, TJ.
Wait, you don't do massages?
I don't accost the masseuse like he did.
That's good. That's
allegedly. Good. I don't know for sure. I wasn't in the room.
Yeah.
Although I do have some Travolta stories that indicate that it could be real. I'm from Wilmington, North Carolina. And I can't get into that's a membership stream story there.
Yeah. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's all the Botox or whatever with Travolta, but I can't remember. Oh, I think it was like I was watching something at the Olympics and they kept cutting to him and it was like a very strange, like, wait, why are you here? Why do they care? Why do they keep cutting to you? It was just something, I don't know, hate, but something about him just gives me like a weird vibe, just weird vibes. That's all I'll say.
I had a good friend when I was like 21 years old.
Lots of yeses for the SWI.
A lot of yeses. I was like 21, 22 years old. So this was basically 38 years ago. And I had a really good buddy that worked for New Hanover County Health Department. And his job was tracking syphilis and HIV patients, And so
like
if you had a relation with someone, he would knock on your door and say, tell me everyone you hooked up with over the past month. And then he would go knock on their door. That was his job. He had some Travolta stories.
Really?
Not directly related, adjacent. That's all I'm going to say. Maybe I'll tell it on Friday's member stream. If you want to be a member, there's what does it say? Join now?
Join button, yeah.
Yeah, hit the join button, not the joint button. That's for the Solana degens.
No, that's for Portnoy and his Boston house.
All right, let's talk about not related to Scientology. Hoskinson says the latest upgrade, the Leos upgrade, will make Cardano faster than Solana as the timeline for a $15 Cardano price is revealed. And so he expresses conviction in the benefits of this upgrade and proven speeds on Cardano. It will be the second major one since the Chain hard fork earlier this month. He compared the Rust code with Leos. The former is used to build wallet apps and boost interactions with Cardano, while the Rust node served users. The Leos upgrade will offer more by increasing transaction throughput. He also shared development roadmap, evaluating different scalability solutions like Hydra and sidechains. Do you know what Hydra is?
Isn't it something from the Avengers universe?
Yeah, it's a criminal organization that is hell-bent on world domination. You're exactly right,
That's what
actually.
I thought. Yeah.
No, like the Hydra head, you have different heads competing different things. So they're all kind of leading to the same chain. You don't need just everything has to go through one funnel. We can go through the different heads, ended up through the same snake's body. I'm trying to just simplify it here, talking to a fifth grader here. That's just to mask the fact that I don't code. According to one analyst, the ADA price usually follows a cycle, which market pessimism. Oh yeah, we talked about this. This is from Dan's video. We now know how to say his name, Gam Bardello. Big shout out to Crypto Capital Ventures there. So
and I think it may have been his tweet. I know he's a big Cardano guy also. I saw it, but commenting on the SWI USDC announcement, he said basically this Cardano needs this. I agree. Cardano needs collaboration with either Tether or Circle, USDC or USDT. I understand. We talked about it when we had Charles on the channel, why that can be risky because it gives the stablecoin operator a lot of power in the network.
Yeah. Can reverse transactions.
Well, what it does
Basically.
is whenever things are going to fork, whichever fork that the stablecoin providers, like if USDT and USDC support this fork, that basically means it's going to work. If they don't support it, then, you know, it almost gives them the ability to say where the network goes in the future.
Gives them
because
power.
It will kill the network if they don't support. Like if Ethereum had, you know, EIPs and USDC or USDT came out and said, nope, we're not going to do that upgrade. We're not going to support that migration. Then most of the DeFi wouldn't move with it. So it just gives them a very strong position in the network, which I think is part of what Cardano doesn't want. But I do think having a good backed heavy liquidity stablecoin provider on the network would bring a lot more activity.
Oh, we got a bold prediction from Ugin Sky here. ADA $15 in 2050.
Phew. That doesn't do much for me.
That just hurts my heart.
By the way, some quick math on your age there. What are you, like, pushing 70?
In crypto years, it's been 84 years.
It's been 84 years.
Like 84 years. Shout out to that hussy throwing the diamond at the bottom of the ocean. She has a loving husband who gives her a family and supports her and supports the family. And she fantasizes about some teenage artist on a boat 80 years ago.
Yeah.
Grandma, do better. Yeah. All right. That's a red pill take.
Yeah. You know how many grandkids that diamond could have supported? You know, come on.
Yeah.
That's generational wealth right there.
Yeah. Your granddaughter, she's still paying off her student loan bill.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
We do have we talked about this. We got a video. The public sale's about to go live, everybody. So make sure you get in. I think we have maybe 7 minutes. I'm not sure on the time zone here. And so it is Playfix Lab. I just want to give them a shout out that you go to Coinecta. This gives you, they do have one of the things with the link here. Oh yeah, let me hit refresh because they probably posted since we've gone live.
This is on Cardano.
This is on Cardano. This is a Cardano AI play. If you hadn't watched the video, go watch that. It tells you everything that they're building. They have a secret weapon. I'll go ahead and say the secret weapon is Flexibots. And these are individual, think of like a chat bot, but with like an extra power up. And you can have multi Flexibots. And I was just kind of brainstorming. Imagine if you had a crypto exchange platform or just kind of any kind of crypto website that you're building with Playfix, and you had a maxi bot or a flexi bot that was a Bitcoin maxi, and then you had a flexi bot that was a Cardano maxi. And you can have, like different conversations, ask them different questions, maybe have them talk, just really cool things that you can do with that.
FlexiBot sounds like having multiple FlexiBots sounds like something like CryptoFace would have in his closet. I got a few FlexiBots back there if you want to take a gander, I don't know.
I could go down the rabbit hole. I could go down the hole with that topic there. But no, we just
probably shouldn't. Yeah,
we just keep them powdered down in the closet, and unless we have a couple whiskeys in us. Ape Society left Cardano. Ada dumped King Alex. I'm pretty sure I met this guy. If it's the same guy I'm thinking about, he had a king and his wife had a king. I think there's only a handful of kings. I want to say it's the same one though. If it is, very, very nice guy. Every Ape Society member I've ever talked to in person has been more than pleasant. Online, sometimes they get a little heated. They were, kind of like the Bored Ape Yacht Club of Cardano. Some say, they're, antagonistic, whatever. I have one. I have, his name is Ripley or something like that. Or I don't know. It's Ripley. It's something Ripley. Ape Society left Cardano, the circle right here, and then Ada dumped, down 32% in 4 months. I blame Charles Hoskinson for pushing the best project away with his toxicity. Where's your backup plan, Charlie? He replied, TJ. He actually replied, I am supremely glad that your toxic drama and extreme ego are gone. It's a lot more peaceful.
Yeah, I saw that.
They're getting heated here, man. They're getting heated. If it is the same guy, I want to say he offered a king to Charles. Flappy Bird gets crypto reboot on Telegram with Notcoin. Reason bringing it up. It was removed from the App Store exactly 10 years ago today. That was cool. No, it wasn't actually today, but it was 10 years ago. Very, very popular game. You can sell like your iPhone at like a 300% markup there. Then we had a crypto party on a plane sparking safety concerns.
Yeah, this was wild.
Qatar Airways staff got wrecked so hard they thought it was a normal flight. Did they get taken down? Oh, man. They probably got threatened by Qatar. I saw a clip. It looked like it was pretty lit. almost like a P. Diddy party. His final hours before his arrest, he was pictured Midtown Manhattan. I saw videos of him sunbathing in Central Park in the shade. We were like, how are you going to sunbathe in the shade? So yeah, the diddler has been taken. I'm interested. Now, we're just going to look here. This is live. I have no idea. This is not an endorsement. Do not buy this. Is there a Diddy meme coin that is launched? Flea Diddy is down 5%. I'm looking at liquidity, only 1,000. Surprisingly, not a whole lot of movement on some of these. So I would have figured more of a movement.
I think we forget how much more tied into news we are by constantly being on X.
Flat forever, and then the news broke. That's funny. Yeah. What are you saying? We forget.
I think a lot of I mean, some people have probably heard about this, but a lot of the follow-up news, like the follow-up news stories, the sentencing, the actual arrest, a lot of times doesn't seem to make it into the mainstream zeitgeist. So I'm not too surprised there's not too many meme coins moving on that, but yeah.
Surprising. And if you didn't know, he is the Epstein of hip hop, which is, you probably don't want to be the Epstein of anything.
No,
right?
And probably, was not the head of the snake either. Just a kind of
definitely not the mastermind of the whole thing. They say his parties would have upwards of 250 cameras capturing everything. And I don't know, it just makes me think of the, oh God, what was his name? It's not Memphis Bleak. It was Meek Mill's audio tape where someone, I shouldn't even have said Meek Mill's audio tape. Do not Google that. Do not search for that on X, by the way. You'll wish you time traveled to the time before you heard it. But folks, that is all we have time for. I think I'm going to work on this Cardano versus Solana. I want to look a little bit more. What is the actual meat and potatoes of this? Throughput going to exceed Solana? Is a lot of Moon Boy talk. Can it hit $15? What are these price targets we're looking at? It's been at least 2 days since my Cardano video, so people want it. I need to make another one. I go through withdrawals. Not the people, it's for me, folks. But hit that like button on the way out. Did we hit 500?
Oh, yeah.
600?
No.
Ah, man. Maybe next time, folks. Hit it on the way out. I appreciate you joining. Thank you, Disco fam. You are the reason we wake up in the morning, so we can share this knowledge, so we can all just grow together, get rich together, retire together, and I'll see you in Bhutan getting a tan.